Welcome back to GBGuns. Got a special blue box here. Classic American name, so much history. Colt. Gonna take a look at the competition model in 9mm. Coming up next. Gun comes in this blue case, of course, classic blue Colt. It is lockable. I picked this up used. I'm not the original owner on it, so hopefully things are about as close as they are when you buy a new one. I don't have any magazines, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm hoping that some of my other 9mm 1911 magazines will work just fine in this. We'll see how that goes. Down below, of course, we have our required lock and NRA and registration card here. But I wanted to point out how nicely done this foam bed is with this edge here up top. And then in the top half of the case, more padding, a spot for your chamber flag, and the manual nicely tucked in. I'll get this manual pulled out so that as usual we can take a look at it. There we go. It does kind of have an older feel to it. That's because it was revised in 2003. Illustrations, so no actual photos, but it does have a lot of good information in here. Basic firearms safety, in case someone was fortunate enough to have this be their first gun, or a reminder for those who don't shoot too often. Disassembly instructions. So it looks like everything you need to have in a manual. Let's get the case out of the way and take a look at this beautiful gun. So here it is. Nice stainless and matte combination of finish. It is of course clear. I've wanted to have my hands on one of these for quite some time, but they're kind of tough to find. And as you know, Colt has been through some tough times financially over the last few years. So I don't know what production numbers are like, but it's still neat to support a classic American brand and one that just has so much history behind it. So that's why I'm excited to get my hands on this thing. Let's take a look around the gun. Starting on the business end, got this nice matte finish contrasting with the stainless barrel. It is 9mm. And it's not a bushingless model. You can see obviously there's a bushing there. Very large, obvious attention-grabbing fiber optic front sight. Slide to frame, we can get a little side to side, but not much. We've got the clean or cut stainless for the slide, and no crazy billboard, just the standard Colt markings there. This is a 70s series, which is exciting. No rail, of course, because this is a competition model. No need for a light in most competition. Smooth trigger guard. You can see there's a nice undercut here to allow hands like mine to fit perfectly if you got large hands. The magazine releases standard size. Trigger does have some adjustment room. Looks like a little screw in there. You can see the previous owner unfortunately put that smiley face on there. Got the Colt G10 grips, black and blue. No checking on the front strap. A bit of a flare to the magazine well. Vertical serrations on the mainspring housing. Nice extended beaver tail and extended grip. This is where the rattle sound is coming from. Safety detent is good and strong. Skeletonized hammer. Rear slide to frame fit. Just a little bit of side to side, but not much else. And there's your sight picture. A bright fiber optic front sight and nothing in the back. I like having a little bit of extra room on the side there to really see where your target is. Be interesting to see how quick these sights are going to work for me. Slide serrations, of course, no controls on the right side. See what that trigger's like. Take up to a wall. One more step. Clean brake as we expect from 1911. Reset. Right there. Right back at the wall. That step and brake again. Very nice. Let's field strip this thing and take a look inside the gun. So field stripping, and this is where I get lots of haters. I like to just take the slide off first. I think it's much easier. You just have to watch out for the spring. But since there's so much hate out there on the internet, let's try doing it this way. It's just a little tougher on camera. So you've got to depress on the spring here. It's not a full-length guide rod, thank goodness. And rotate this bushing. Wrong direction, I always mix those up. There we go. And with the bushing rotated out of the way, we can pull the spring out of the way. Now we're going to move the slide back to there we go. Here, that little indentation there on the slide relieves so that we can pull out the slide stop or release. Comes straight out, and your slide comes off the frame. This, we want to knock this link down. I gotta pull this out first. There we go, there's your bushing, and then barrel straight out the front. A little bit of chatter marks on here from the previous owner. That's just the barrel sliding on the bushing, means the bushing's doing its job. That feed ramp looks so small, being used to seeing 45 caliber 1911s. Let's see what our chamber support looks like. That, of course, is going to be with Nosler's match ammo. This will be what we shoot our groups with. Dropping that round in there, and you can see that the case is supported all the way to the end, except, of course, where the feed ramp is, and a little bit of room for the extractor. So that's nice. Here's our frame. Construction all looks pretty good. Got some polish there. They didn't put the rough finish for feed ramp along the bottom. Ejector is good and solid. I'm looking inside our slide. Very cleanly machined. Just some minor wear marks on this gun. That's about it. And you notice it does not have the drop safety piece that's in here on 80s series. That's what makes this a 70s series. The hardcore guys prefer that because it's just one less thing that has to be deactivated as you're moving the trigger. So it tends to make for a cleaner trigger feel on a 70s series. I'm not sure I totally buy that. I've shot some 80 series that were plenty nice, but it is just one less thing to be in the way. I kind of dig this matte to stainless, almost like a Parkerized to stainless transition. Let me know what you guys think there. Our recoil spring, just noticed, is actually dual spring. There's 2 springs in here, and a standard guide rod, not a full length, which I appreciate. So reassembly, of course, is reversal of assembly. I plan on getting this out to the range and doing, of course, full mag +1 if I can, as long as I've got a mag on hand. Pretty sure I do somewhere. And then the what's for dinner test. I'm curious with, this is a beefy stainless gun, so is there going to be enough energy with some of those lighter loads to cycle this thing, or even some of the subsonic loads, which can be a little gentler. Also, of course, field accuracy test with 5 shots from 7 yards using that Nosler match ammo that tends to do pretty well. And doing that, we're going to have pretty much the ultimate in premium ammo, blending with this high-level competition series authentic Colt. So we should get some good results as long as I can do my part. Come on. This is why I don't reassemble this way. It's so much faster to do it my way. Anyways, I'll get this back together. And of course, yeah, sure, there's Paul Harrell and guys out there that can do an excellent job of getting one of these back together without any issues. There we go. That's lined up. Sorry, I'm a bit younger than Paul Harrell, which means I didn't grow up as much with the 1911. With that back, now we can get our spring in. And should be good to go. The other issue I have with putting the spring in this way is your guide rod is free floating in there, right? It can lean any which way it wants. I don't know if you can see in there or not. And so when you try to put it back together this way, there isn't much guarantee that you're actually going to be getting the spring onto the guide rod. So very good there. And they are authentic Novak sights. Let me know what your thoughts are on this guy. I love the heft of it, and I'm betting that the weight of this all steel combined with it being 9mm is going to make for a pretty sweet shooter. Colt Competition Series 9mm. Get it out to the range soon. Thanks for watching.